Berdyansk is a wonderful city that lays at the Sea of Azov in the south part of Ukraine. People from all over Ukraine come here to bask on the magnificent sand beaches and swim in the one of the warmest seas in the world.
Impact of heavy industry. As a result, the Sea of Azov has lost a crucial number of fish resources. Also, the local flora is still being negatively affected by artificial components.
There are several small park zones in Berdyansk, but it is not enough for tourists and local people, especially in summer. The more parks are in the city, the more fauna representatives live in them. It is considered that biodiversity makes a positive impact on people's health.
In the first decade of the 21st century, the ecologically valuable lands were distributed among local people for private construction, and the result of this mistake still affects our region even now. That was the third blow to the local environment. We lost the many of the places we can have a rest at, to be in touch with nature.
Today we would like to be in a situation where nature does not need our protection, but unfortunately it needs. Even now we have to protect so fragile ecosystem from synthetic rubbish such as plastic and polyethylene, and it did not take us a lot of time to decide what actually we have to do.
Our first team project was called Creative Azov. The idea was to make a strategy to protect nature, to find not short-term but long-term decision. We asked ourselves, what could we do to the local ecology? And the answer was to teach people to love nature and to live in harmony with it.
We decided to organize the training for local school students. The training consisted of two parts, which were beneficial in different spheres. The first one was to conduct a master class of making crafts from seashells and sorted rubbish. And the second one was to involve university and school students into discussion to share knowledge and to conduct lectures for school students in order to explain how to protect the local environment and nature at all. We organized ecological events with team partners for collection and sorting rubbish.
Our financial plan was to raise as much money as we only could for the stationery we needed, because the quantity and quality of handmade crafts were not so high as we expected, as they were created by children. So we had to be competitive enough to give the more advantageous suggestion to the local market than our rivals. And we got the results we needed by providing this market politics. Comparing the outlays in force with the previous year, we could reduce the cost of one craft up to 80 cents, because of decreasing the cost for the one training up to $40. In autumn 2019 and in winter 2020, we attracted in-kind help equivalent to $330. In addition, we started preparing for a large-scale event which we have been hosting with one of Enactus Ukraine partners, but it's still in plans because of pandemic. On the local level, our project is supported by some non-governmental organization, Berdyansk State Pedagogical.
We also plan to modernize the project by adding new participants and introducing new handmade painting craft and circled from the same resources. To sum up, we have attracted to the project more than 100 children from the local schools. We have positively impacted more than 30,000 people. We have saved more than 1 hectare of valuable lands. We have stopped sand excavation in violation of third standard that could negatively impact more than 4 types of internationally protected animals.
Our second project is called EcoBags. It has gone through the large changes since 2019. This project implies introducing paper bags into the local market of Berdyansk. The crisis has created major obstacles to the project realization at its start, but we made it a little bit simpler. So we have found a current producer of paper bags and plan to establish a long-term contractual relationship with him to supply craft packages to our team in bulk and at the corresponding lower price. Our part of the job is to organize the full logistics and to provide the sustainable deliveries.
We also use those bags for making our town more colorful and kind. Our city becomes so grey and cold in the winter. That is why many local people fall into depression. To prevent it, we plan to organize free training for local people where they will paint bags with colorful pictures and wishes to buy. Each participant will draw 2 packets. The first one will be exchanged with another artist.
More and more projects, more impact and more people involved in our projects, more events and ecological protection.